All right, so let's talk about repetition and combating ideas. Part of martial arts and their various systems is about combating ideas, and they don't agree about what those ideas are. Buddhists, for the most part, by their behavior, withdraw, and they only defend themselves. So part of what's hidden here is the highest path non-action and some kind of a long-term plan that doesn't account for technology, or is it facing your enemy as a hero? Sort of Bruce Lee's argument refined, and the highest form of being a hero is restoring the divine order and giving everyone their rightful place, which means don't cheat the African martial art line. It's very key to my argument. And it goes back to an air war, and then you're faced with the burden of proof, and you know them by their works, and so my works alone gives away who I am. Okay, and we'll get into that later in this video. So combating ideas is a key idea. So this also has to do with why you should listen to this guy, right? People are in the repetition of being a bitch, being a conformist. This guy is in the repetition of being a hero. Okay, we'll touch on that in the end. So let's first shoot through this part, comparing the other black people in the community's argument to mine. When we consider racial barriers and we say, hey, you know what? These people have racial barriers. They're too immature to look at things in terms of universal morality. So why are black women shunning you? Okay. Well, the argument in the black community is basically variations of work in concert with the left, with immoral and at least at times fake black, sometimes fake black African cultures, right? You know, at times. So basically, it's the work in concert with the left with a thong on. And sometimes they're African-American movements. Sometimes they're quote-unquote African movements, but they're all fake and controlled opposition, corporate-sponsored stuff. They're guided by Jews, whites, and sometimes, to some degree, Asians in terms of the martial art idols like Michael J. White. Okay, false idols and so on and so forth. They want to give up true courage, true passion, true mental and moral clarity, and love are connected to these things. Love, true courage, true passion, mental and moral clarity. Moral clarity is mental clarity. You have to have mental clarity to have moral clarity. All right, and vice versa. Okay. So this is their argument versus the true moral African king of kings martial art hero centered culture. You've heard it many times. You've been watching my videos. In the center of African culture is the Shaka Zulu times 10, is the Narmers. It goes beyond Nelson Mandela, but to some degree he was a soldier taking abuse in a war. Okay? So it is these hero kings, the Man Igbo, as it's said. There's all kinds of Ethiopian kings who are said to be warriors. I think Johannes was one, and Haile Selassie is dressed like a military man, right? This is the guy that Bob Marley's pointing to, and he's dressed like a military man, right? As a military officer in a royal military outfit, so to speak, right? It doesn't take a genius to see that I'm right. The guys who aren't martial art heroes, they dress up as if they're them. They superimpose themselves on them. It's open and shut. Boom. The true center of African culture is the martial art hero, the king of kings. Okay? So when we look at life, there's different lifestyles, conformist lifestyles, beta lifestyles. They're all beta lifestyles compared to the highest martial art path. And Horus is said to restore the divine order and so on and so forth. So what kind of people does this create? It's the big, strong black man who's woke, who's educated, especially with a Western education, or a black college, which is basically a token minority education. Okay? Or the short, healthy, smart guy who's in the know. This is the various models that emerge. It's like the jackal and the bull, okay? Set and ball, and so on and so forth, okay? So versus the mind, body, soul, spirit of Horus, son of Ra, the African martial art hero. Not to be confused with the beta Ra, the shorter kind of beta Ra. He kind of has little, soft pectoral muscles, skinny arms. They're trying to make me like that by fuming and drugging me. I've lost a lot of weight, become very skinny. You can see it in my face, you can see it in my body structure, but it's me from the room, my hands, and you know. Okay. All right, so of course you know it from the past videos. All right, so here we go. So Narmer does not look like the statue of Re. And if I remember, I'll put it. I have a lot of scriptures to put at the end. I have this statue to put at the end. So I'll try to remember, the statue of Re. He does not look like this guy looks like look at the eyes, look at the structure of the face. This is some kind of set follower or some kind of gnome to that effect. perhaps breeding with black women and pretending that that makes it so that they're a valid follower of Ra. And this is what happened in Egypt. Cults would overtake other cults because a bunch of bitches would take their sides, type of thing. They would drug, use underhand tactics, use magic card bitch tactics, and then they would then breed with whatever stupid slut was willing to breed with them. Let's face it, you know. If we were talking about someone else's family, the people who are related, these people would fucking say, hey, he's right, you know, and they act like bitches when it comes to their own. That's part of what false pride is, and so on and so forth. So when we look at complicit reason, okay, if women were to choose between a serial rapist and a serial murderer, you say you're a dumb bitch. Don't choose either one. We live in a society where everyone's complicit with everyone outside the divine order is complicit with mass murder, mass rape, drugging. They're all part of cultures that uphold the social norms, that uphold the psychological construct. When you don't overcome the construct and you're complicit with it, transcend, overcome, then you're a part of the problem. You either transcend and try to restore the divine order and don't snake the martial art hero, or you may as well be holding down little kids to get plugged in the ass. You may as well be drugging people. You may as well be a shrink, and so on and so forth. Okay. So basically, it's a bunch of Mr. T and Urkel pretending they're woke and smart versus the true Narmer, Shaka Zulu times infinity type of person. It's a no-brainer. If you don't understand what I'm saying, start the video over until you do. Okay? If you miss this idea, you miss what is going on. Okay, now let's wrap this video up with the challenge. Okay, why do we know this guy is a martial art hero? Well, it goes back to my 2012 challenge. I challenged everyone in California, knowing I'm being gang stalked already. I was being gang stalked on record at least since 2011. Okay, being covertly drugged and sent to the psych ward since February 2011. Okay, on the anniversary of my uncle's death, February 26th, I believe it was. Okay, so 2012, here I come with this challenge, right? I've been working out. I have videos. I'm gonna put that at the end too. I'm gonna put the picture. It's a 2012 picture of me flexing my shirt off. You can tell that anyone who doesn't take this guy's challenge seriously is an idiot. If you're a martial artist and you're looking at the guy who's shaped like that with his gi on, should you be able to miss? You're supposed to be more insightful than other people, and so on. Is in touch with his tone of voice, everything, tone. Should you be able to miss that this guy's fucking serious? No. Okay, his shape gives it away that he is serious. If you're really doing your research on this guy, as you're going through his videos, you come across this shape if you really go the distance to understand this guy. Okay, and the people who are very serious about maintaining their system's perceived supremacy in society, okay, will do that. We'll go the distance and see that picture. Okay, and even if they don't, you should be able to see that in them. Okay, so that's the May 2012 challenge. Over a year later, folks, after challenging everyone in California already, I challenged everybody in the December 20th, 2013. I said, I'm the top martial artist in California, and I'm being persecuted for my political views. Okay, it's the most populated state, most populated country. Bruce Lee set up schools here. It's a very martial arts centered place. Hollywood is here. A bunch of martial artists try to be action heroes and go to Hollywood. You know, go on and on. They have a huge network. They can bring them here. We can go on and on and on and on and on about how they don't want to be made to look bad and how they'll bring people from fucking across the world to try to, if they believe they can win, to try to save their system's face. You shouldn't have any trouble understanding why that is and how underhanded some of these people are. It's all over the movies as well, right? Van Damme and Kickboxer, the guy blows something and it messes up his vision, right? It's very similar to what's going on, right? I was once lost and blind and now I see all kinds of symbolism and historical treachery associated with this and its religion and so on and so forth. Anyway, so in December 20th, 2013, so, and then I say sportsmanlike conduct will be applied. I start off for a very short period of time saying $250. Reasonable sum, raise it to 500, raise it to 3,000. A lot of martial artists are aware by the time I raise it to 3,000. I raise it to 4,000. Tons and tons of people are aware. Representatives from all their systems are following my videos now. They're watching me, okay? And then I raise it to $100,000. They're concerned, they're watching, they're saying, what do we do about this, especially by that point? Then eventually I lower it to 10,000 or something, to 5,000. I lower it back to 4,000 at some point. Now we look at this thing, right? In the media at this point, there's a history of guys making bets and they don't pay them right away. Okay, so they say, you know, I couldn't pay all the money at one point, but I could pay it over time. And we see with even Snoop Dogg or something like that, someone like that, eventually paid off 50 Cent, as the story goes, for this debt, some gambling debt. So whether it take me 3 years to pay it off, fine. You're still going to get your money. It's like being paid off in the lotto or something, right? You win the lotto, you get paid incrementally, or you get a lump sum. We can go on and on about why that was fair for me to do it that way, and how when you're not rich, you should not have it held against you, and people should understand how serious you are. Okay, it's very straightforward. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read this out loud. They might, at the risk of them changing my words, and I'll put the pictures at the end. So pics of the things I have on my wall, right? This is like God writing this in stone. In the true spirit of righteousness, being persecuted for my political views, a hero's challenge, okay? Over the course of the challenge, I make these plaques until I'm finally victorious, and I make the final plaque, I believe is how it went. Whether I made it before, during, or after, I still won. And this is after having shown them this trophy, right? Since 1997, grand champion, right? At this Taekwondo school, and obviously my style is not Taekwondo or Kung Fu. It is African martial arts, skywalking, and so on and so forth, with righteous indignation, not set positions. It is letting the Spirit move me, right? It's the motion of God, letting the Spirit move me, and not these fixed positions and this kind of scientific and repetition of their systems, but rather the repetition of righteous indignation, letting the Spirit move me. Okay, some similar movements, but they're not the same, and obviously they can't correct me if they can't train someone to beat me. How the fuck are they going to correct me? It's a no-brainer. Anyway, so one of these plaques says 2013 to 2016 $3,000 challenge covertly drugged with psyop impairing him. Transcendent hero Chukwu Emeka, the immortal leopard, wins. Okay. May 2012 to May 2017, the Horace the champion after 5 years of martial arts challengers, valor, confidence, courage, morality, focus, concentration, wisdom. Okay, it's 5 years of martial arts challenges. It includes the 2012 challenge. That's how I got the 5-year. Okay. Heru, the top martial arts in America, $3,000 challenge for 3 years, honorable, transcendent, supreme champion. At that point, I was going to end the challenge. Okay, I decided to stretch it out for a 4th year. That's where I get the next plaque. That's why I gave myself another one, part of why. And I also had more to say about what it shows. $4,000 top martial arts challenge champion. Sparring shows transferable skills for actual combat, not sports fighting. For what? Actual combat and not sports fighting. December 12th through December 2017. That was a mistake. This was a mistake. It's supposed to say May 2012. Sabotage champion or December 2013. Right. So that one was a mistake. It's slightly off. Sabotage champion still held on. $4,000 challenge for 4 years. Precision, speed, timing, maneuverability, strategy, dexterity, agility. Right? Mind, body, soul, and spirit. It's transcendent hero covers that idea, and so does valor, confidence, courage, morality, focus, concentration, wisdom. Right? So as you look at these things, they all pertain to mind, body, soul, and spirit. It confounds their eugenic argument, and I rose as a hero, not a privileged Francis Galton elegance and arrogance kind of Western bitch. How could you miss the significance of my challenge? And it goes back to what I said, what was it earlier, this video, or was it the video before, where the female, if there was a female counterpart and men were looking at this, what kind of a pussy would they be not to date this female and say, you're all wrong, she is right, okay? Why can't women do that? Why can't society do that? Why can't men man up and say, he's right and I'm standing with him? Because they don't put righteousness and principle above life and family. They don't put the greater good above their family. And they certainly don't put God above their family. It was the Spirit of God in somebody who puts this above their... You think I didn't know that I was going to be persecuted? Okay? After I'm already being persecuted when I make my top martial arts challenge, you think I didn't know that the expected response is they're going to turn it up higher? I put righteousness above everything else. And nobody with any sense at all would miss that when they see that martial art challenge. This guy's persecuted already. And he's challenging a bunch of false pride bitches and white supremacists who do martial arts in his challenge. And at some points in my videos, I specifically name the police. I specifically name white supremacists and offer them more money if they can beat me. You're a fucking idiot if you don't see the difference between this and the pagan Olympics on a terrain that favors white and Asian body types with kicks-only events type of shit. Okay, the Olympics, rape cult. Who's the king of the Olympics? Zeus. He raped Leda or Leto or some shit. He raped all these females. He's kidnapping, rape. I'm out of fucking that. Fuck.